Hey everyone. So if you've been following the solar industry, you know it's always moving fast. But 2025 was the year it just slammed its foot on the accelerator. We saw lab records turn into real-world products, old challenges get solved with brand new science, and clever engineering just made every single panel work that much harder. So let's dive in and see how these breakthroughs are really reshaping our energy future, starting right now.
I want you to look at this number, 34.85%. Okay, this isn't just another small improvement. This is a new world record for solar efficiency, and it completely rewrites what we thought was even possible. This number is proof that a physical limit, a barrier that stood for decades, has finally been broken. And honestly, it sets the stage for everything else we're about to talk about.
All right, so here's the plan. Think of it like we're climbing a ladder of innovation. We're going to start on the ground floor with the new standard you can get your hands on today. Then we'll climb up a rung to see the clever engineering tricks that are boosting power. After that, we hit the main event, the tech that totally shattered that efficiency ceiling. Then we'll look at how we're making these amazing breakthroughs actually last, and finally, we'll get a quick peek over the top at what's coming next.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the new workhorse of the industry. You know, while all these flashy new technologies were grabbing headlines, a tech called TOPCON was quietly, but very, very quickly taking over the entire market. It has become the new practical, powerful, and frankly expected standard for most projects heading into 2026.
So let's just put it side by side. The old standard, PERC, was fantastic. I mean, it got us modules in that 20 to 22% efficiency range, which was great for its time. But TOPCon, that stands for tunnel oxide passivated contact, by the way, it just delivers a solid jump, pushing module efficiency up towards 25%. And what might be even more important, it degrades slower. That means it loses less of its power each year, which translates directly to more energy and, you guessed it, more savings over the life of the system.
And here's the real kicker. TOPCon isn't some crazy expensive niche upgrade. It's built using a lot of the same equipment as the older PERC technology, so manufacturers were able to switch their production lines over super fast. This means for pretty much any project in 2026, TOPCon gives you the best mix of performance, availability, and value. It's just the new, smart, safe bet.
All right, let's move up to that next rung on the ladder. Because beyond just the raw cell chemistry, engineers are getting incredibly creative with panel design. I mean, they're finding ways to squeeze every single last drop of energy from the sun's rays. And it really starts with a simple, but honestly, brilliant question. Sunlight is bouncing all over the place, off the ground, off of clouds. So why are we only using the front of the panel? This is the whole idea behind bifacial panels, and it's a total game changer. And you don't have to take my word for it. The data is pretty clear. A test from Trina Solar measured the extra energy you get from the back of the panel when it's placed over different surfaces. So, over regular grass, you get an extra 5%. Not bad. Over sand, that jumps to almost 11%. But check this out. Put it over a highly reflective white painted surface, and you're getting almost 22% more energy. It's basically free power. It just proves that where you install the panel can make a huge difference.
Now, what if we take that cleverness and kick it up a notch?
You see, standard panels have these tiny metal lines on the front to collect all the electricity the cell is making. But those lines, as small as they are, cast tiny shadows. They block sunlight. So what's the solution? Just move all of it to the back. And that's exactly what back contact technology does.
And the results are, well, they're pretty incredible. You get this perfectly clean, all-black surface that just soaks up more light, pushing module efficiency up to that 25% mark. This design also happens to perform over 50% better when parts of it are in the shade. And since there's nothing blocking the back, its bifacial gain is even higher. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, that sleek, uniform look is a really nice bonus.
And now, this is the moment we've been building towards. For decades, solar technology had what we thought was a hard physical limit, a wall you just couldn't break through. But in 2025, a new material combination didn't just nudge that limit, it smashed right through it. Welcome to the Perovskite revolution.
Now, to really get how huge this is, you have to know about something called the Shockley-Queisser limit. It's basically a fundamental rule of physics. It says that a solar cell made from just one material, like silicon, can only ever get so efficient. The theoretical speed limit was about 29%. And for more than 60 years, that was the ceiling. That was the absolute best anyone was even trying to reach.
And there it is again, 34.85%. So how did they do it? Well, by stacking a super thin layer of a material called perovskite
On top of a normal silicon cell, Longi Solar created a tandem cell. And it works because each layer captures a different part of the sunlight. The perovskite grabs the high-energy blue light, and the silicon underneath grabs the lower-energy red light. Together, they harness way more of the sun's full spectrum than silicon could ever hope to do on its own.
But you know, what's maybe just as mind-blowing is the speed of all this. It took silicon technology more than 50 years of painstaking research to climb to its peak lab efficiencies. But as you can see on this timeline, perovskites have matched and even blown past those results in less than 20 years. The actual pace of innovation itself has fundamentally, radically accelerated.
Okay, but there's always been a catch with perovskites. For a long time, they were super fragile. They just fell apart when they got exposed to heat and moisture. So the billion-dollar question was, that's a great efficiency number, but can we make it last? And in 2025, the answer became a resounding yes.
And the way they solved it is best described with this great little analogy. It's like a skincare routine for the solar cell. Scientists developed a new class of materials that actively protects and even repairs the cells. So it's not just a passive shield, it's an active healing agent working from the inside.
So how does this solar skincare actually work? Well, it's pretty amazing. When a tiny microscopic crack forms from stress, say heat or moisture, it actually activates a special polymer. This causes charged molecules to mobilize and literally rush to the site of the damage, sealing the crack. The very things that used to be the enemy, heat and moisture, now actually trigger the healing process. It's incredible.
So that handles moisture, but what about the other big challenge? Heat. We all know panels get hot in the sun, and when they get too hot, their efficiency plummets. But what if we could use the same trick our own bodies use to stay cool on a hot day?
And that's exactly what researchers did. They applied a special hydrogel layer to the back of a panel. This gel is amazing. It absorbs moisture from the air at night, and then during the day, as it heats up, it releases that moisture as vapor. It's evaporative cooling, and the results are just dramatic. The panel's temperature can drop by as much as 23 degrees Celsius. So what does that mean in the real world? It means a direct gain of more than 12% in power output.
You know, making panels last longer also forces us to think about their end of life. But a solar panel isn't some complex piece of hazardous waste. As you can see from this chart, almost 70% of it is just glass. Another 15% is an aluminum frame, which is super easy to recycle. So this isn't a disposal problem, it's a massive materials recovery opportunity, and it's one we're getting way better at tackling every single year.
All right, so we've seen the tech that's ready for 2026 and the incredible breakthroughs that are making it all possible. For our final section, let's just take a quick, exciting look at the next wave of innovation that's already cooking in the lab.
And I mean, the pipeline of new ideas is just incredible. We've got quantum dots. These are tiny crystals that can be tuned to capture specific colors of light, promising huge efficiency gains. There are kesterite cells, which use common, earth-abundant materials like copper and zinc. Researchers are even combining perovskites with graphene to make them super strong. And pretty soon, the windows and the very walls of our buildings could become power plants themselves. The innovation is definitely not slowing down.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? 2025 wasn't just another year of slow and steady improvement. It was a year of fundamental change, a paradigm shift on multiple fronts. Efficiency, durability, and just plain intelligent design all took a massive leap forward, setting a new and much, much faster pace for the future of energy. The solar revolution didn't just arrive, it accelerated.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. The technology is advancing faster than ever before, creating these unbelievable opportunities. So the question is no longer about the technology's potential. The question is now about our readiness to deploy it at the speed and the scale that this moment demands. The tech is accelerating. Are we ready to? Thanks for tuning in.